Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new episode of another Below Deck podcast. My name is Dylan. And that is Pat. His name is Pat.
Permission to come aboard.
Granted. What's up, bitch?
Oh, not much.
Okay, so cool news, cool updates, cool news. What are they?
Huh?
What are the cool updates and cool news from our world?
Our world.
Traders is over.
Well, that's sad news.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Okay, well, that's sad news. But the good news is... Yeah, see?
Summer House.
Yeah.
Fans of Summer House. It's a good season. We're doing that at patreon.com/podcast.
It's a great season. I mean, think about Lindsay Hubbard is pregnant by another man in the same house with her ex-fiance. Yeah. It is kind of weird to even think about how fucking bizarre that is. And then you've got Jesse Solomon, who I think has a girlfriend 4 episodes into the show. It's like really, really crazy stuff. Paige and Kyle, little leprechaun, are fighting. And it's going to be great. So go to patreon.com/another podcast network to listen to that. I just got back from Seattle. I am so excited to talk about Seattle with you. Some of the weirdest people, they're the weirdest people.
So it's not Austin is keep it weird.
It's I would say make Seattle less weird. They are so weird and aloof up there. Just to give you an example of how fucking insane people are. I walked into a little convenience store, a little sandwich shop to get my wife some water. And a guy walked in and went to the register next to me. He said, "Are you guys still serving breakfast?" And the cashier said no. And I looked at my watch. It was 4:15 in the afternoon. What is happening?
Keep Seattle weird.
Keep Seattle weird.
All right, so you're going to discuss that on APS behind the paywall.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk about my 5-year-old's birthday party. It was Barbie themed. My wife and I, we love talks back about other parents.
Yeah.
We had a bet.
Yeah.
So our gift bags this year, we were trying to elevate ourselves as parents that were doing well.
Yeah, so, parents of status.
That's right. That's how this world works. Yeah. And so we gave...
it doesn't. It's how the private schools sphere in Los Angeles work.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so we gave Barbie dolls and Lego sets away.
Yeah.
As gifts. Cost a fucking fortune. I'm not bragging. I'm an idiot for doing it. And we had a bet the night before. What parent is going to say, my kid wants this at the start of the party? Point at a bag.
What a specific bet.
It is. No. This is the way it works. You give gift bags out at the end of the kids' party.
Yeah.
But for a parent to point at a specific Barbie doll or Lego set and say, my kid wants that, that's a special brand of narcissism.
Well, I think that you invite...
And we nailed it.
You invite... interlopers into this house all the time. The stories I hear of these parents, I mean, they should be institutionalized. But go to patreon.com/another podcast network for all of that.
That's right.
Reality Gaze, we just sat down with them for a long time. It's probably the longest podcast
I think we did a 2-hour podcast.
Yeah. So it was great fun with those boys.
Wrapping up Love is Blind. Worst season ever.
Worst season ever. But we are here tonight to talk about the 3-card Monty of Women in Weehan, Below Deck.
Now, this is a good show. This is good reality TV, unlike Love is Blind.
Right. Because if you look at the difference in casting, right? Now, Love is Blind often recruits traumatized youngsters who grow into broken human beings.
This is the reverse.
This is traumatized youngsters who grew up into broken human beings that flee the land and go to sea. Do you see how the stakes are higher?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. We get some great sea rat history tonight. Beefcakes. I mean, I thought it was probably the worst episode of the season, actually. I hated it.
Are you kidding me?
But 50 pots.
50 pots?
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was great.
I don't remember what happened because I watched this like 5 days ago and I had to watch
Mariah Carey's back.
Oh, Screeters. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right. Can I start us off, Dale?
No, you have to give your fucking
that's right.
pots.
That's right. I'm going to give it
Christ.
Just because I don't remember what happens in this episode at the top of my mind, I would give it 50 pots.
Okay, that's a great score.
Okay.
Okay, you clearly have a joke that you would like
yeah,
to
yeah.
get to first.
No.
So.
I want to tell a story.
Okay.
Okay. So the episode begins with Johnny the Decky taking charter guests India. India or India?
You got it.
Okay. She panics a bit on that skidoo.
Yeah, she can't swim.
That's right. And I once asked a lifeguard, because when I'm at parties or cocktail parties and I find out what someone does, I always ask them the most inappropriate question.
Was it a lifeguard with like big juicy cans that run down to the beach? Or
it was a big
just
guy.
Like,
he looked like he was on Baywatch.
Okay.
And I said, give me the best story you ever had as a lifeguard. Because I always wonder, like, do you just sit in that
Gotta
funny...
be careful with that question, because you get some pretty harrowing stories.
Well, he told me one time he ran out in the ocean and he grabbed onto the person to save him, tried grabbing, putting one of those buoy things around him to hold him up. Yeah, sure. They panicked so much, they almost drowned him. He said the biggest problem with being a lifeguard is when you go out to save someone, they can possibly kill you because they panic so much.
Right. And in those moments, sometimes, they become the enemy, and you have to fight for your life.
You have to punch him in the face, knock him out, and leave him for dead to drown in the water because you got to look out for yourself.
Because a life, what are they called? The lifeguard?
Lifeguard, yeah.
A lifeguard is, there's a lot of philosophical, ethical weight pushed down upon these people. And if they are there to guard life, and there is something that is threatening two lives instead of one, it's one of these kind of ethical quandaries.
It's a Sophie's choice.
You have to save the most lives. You have to guard the most lives.
And that would be myself.
Right. I got a lifeguard story. It's so crazy. My friend Connor, he was skimboarding. The board got stuck in the sand, and it came up. He hit his foot on the board. A giant hematoma starts to grow, the blood pouring into this bulb on top of his foot. Who helps him to the lifeguard station?
You.
No.
Oh.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh. She's probably out there fucking saving some dolphins or something.
No, she went to church with us.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Not
We are such Hollywood elites. It's so crazy. This is why the rest of the country hates us. You know what I mean?
We deserve it.
Yeah, we do.
Anyway, Wean
let us know whose lifeguard story was better.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Wean, he goes out there, and I think he gets her back to the boat and leaves Johnny out there. Meanwhile, Adair, who I think he is in love with, is talking some major shit about him.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I wouldn't have put that.
No, she says our boss is a threat to himself and everybody aboard this vessel.
That's right.
A little bit like the opposite of a lifeguard. Yeah. He is perfect for this show. He is borderline incompetent, dangerously so. I mean, he rolls up to that jet ski with Johnny now drowning, and he's like, hey, I think there was a leak in that thing. They're like, yeah, I mean, we had the discussion about it 5 minutes ago.
This is where the great casting comes in, because I'm getting ahead of myself, but later on we'll have a meeting with Hot Pants Jason, who calls him completely out on his bullshit.
Yeah. Listen, mate.
What are we talking about here, mate?
What are we talking about here? Okay.
All right. So anyway, they drag that fucking thing in, and then they all like pile it onto that platform. Very impressive.
Yeah, I just want to say I feel a little weird because I that got into like a domino kind of impression or a data kind of impression, and I didn't mean for it to be that. I would never do that.
One thing I should know better is I listen to podcasts where a bunch of American people do imitations of people from the UK and Australia, and I always cringe when I hear it, and then I have to look at myself in the mirror and go, why are you doing it?
Yeah. You're part of that same awful tapestry.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so we get the jet skis back on the boat, and it starts to sink immediately. It's a fire alarm fire. This skidoo is $20K, right? They've got to rescue this skidoo, and they can only do it with the help of the coal shovelers, the sex traffickers from underneath the bow.
Yeah. You're talking about the engineers.
Yes. Were it not for them, we would have lost this skidoo.
By the way, engineers has a huge spectrum of what it means.
Yep.
In the film Prometheus, engineers were people that created life on another planet.
Yeah.
Engineers on this Sea Rat vessel mean, I don't know what the hell you do down.
Well, they keep the multi-million-dollar vessel afloat. They're really the only serious people aboard this vessel, and we constantly mock them. I got to talk about it, but fucking Alien Romulus, man.
You liked it.
I give you so much shit for watching these alien movies over and over and over again. It was fantastic.
Did I tell you the last alien is Elliot's soccer coach? The skinny humanoid one?
Yeah.
Yeah, his name's Trevor. He looks that weird in fucking person.
Oh, that was such a
skinny guy.
That was such a horrifying. Oh, it was so scary. I got to tell you though, guys, if you've never seen Alien Romulus, there's this scene where all of the xenomorphs, right? They're in this hallway and they're all gonna. Where they come from, I don't know. Why the fuck there are all of a sudden 50 of them? I don't know. But she hits the zero gravity on them, right? And then they're all just floating there. She shoots all of them. It's this crazy scene. And then they have to get through, but all of the acid blood is still hung in the air. So they have to kind of gravity go through.
Very Matrix.
Pretty awesome, dude. I was like, well, that actually is quite a creative thing that ChatGPT came up with. Okay. So.
Okay. I want to set us up here now.
Yeah.
All right. So,
has it been good so far? I think it's been really good.
Oh, we're killing it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So, Wee-An gets back on the boat.
Yeah.
And he immediately, I think, is greeted by Zarina.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I think he's a loser with Adair. She doesn't want any part of him. I think those two sea rats aren't going to hook up. But the good news for him is Zarina's self-esteem is lower than the back of that jet ski in the water.
Okay.
So,
well, we love Zarina. Okay.
Oh, and by the way, this is a great plug. Zarina will be on the show on Friday's episode. We're interviewing her. So
are we interviewing her on Friday?
Yeah. So go over to our Facebook group and submit your questions. We'll ask her every
Is it in person or Zoom?
Zoom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, well.
Hopefully she doesn't listen to this episode. She might not want to show up.
Well, yeah, you just said something pretty awful about her. But I mean, I referred to her as her food as Pan Am, cafeteria food. So I'm sure that she's, listen, she's a good sport. I am. I just didn't know that was happening.
Oh,
do I need to get better at the emails? Because that's probably
you are on that email.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's my bad. Okay, so Whedon's all smiles. He's like, take a picture. We're gonna laugh about this for years to come. And the charter guests are pretty chill about this because if you look over the bow, what you see is really this kind of circus act of these sea rats who have no fucking idea what's going on. The guests want to bar hop, and what the guests want, they get. So they will get. It's a Willy Wonka moment. You will get nothing. You will get hot ass Captain and Johnny in bathrobes or kimonos.
That's right, kimonos.
And you will get Weehan twerking his hot little body.
Can you imagine Lee pulling this off in a kimono?
I can. Yeah. Yeah.
But Captain Hot Pants Jason says we kind of owe it to them.
What are we going to do for an in memoriam? Because I don't think that he's going to listen. I think he's a healthy guy, but death can come for us at any day.
Well, he's lived a great life.
I mean, we really got to think about that because this is no spring chicken. I mean, we should have a folder in our phone.
Let me tell you something. When you make it past 75 like he is, that old bastard, You know what? Every day is a gift. I think I got to talk to Kate about this. I think Bravo is giving them a show to recap Bravo shows in the summer again. Yeah. I don't know what agent he has.
What's going on here? Well, Paige and Kyle are yelling at each other about Leverett. Wow, what is... He's fucking like he's a Bill Belichick of reality TV recapping. I don't know what this is. All right. Anyways,
he sucks. He does. We all know.
Yeah,
no one misses him.
No.
I love stepping on his grave.
I know.
He's been gone for
well,
like 3 years.
He's not dead, but he will be, and we have to get ready for that because that's going to be a big moment for us. It's going to be a big moment for culture. Yeah.
I would have to bury him in those boots.
What boots? Let's chill out, okay?
All right.
Fuck, man. All
right, so this is when, meanwhile, Weehan attempts to pass the buck on the jet ski debacle. I think he talks to Johnny and is like, hey, remember when I didn't send you guys out in the water with that jet ski that was fully submerged in water?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I kind of remember that.
We're getting ready for dinner. Last night the steaks were undercooked. But tonight it's going to be different. Now, I could have been a little bit more flowery when describing the steaks, but because we've already gone hard on Zarina and we're talking to her on Friday, I'm going to lay off.
That's right.
Okay.
That's what we do in the business.
I'm going to lay off.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, there's still dinner to get to. Hopefully you have some good
Dinner was great. Dinner was great.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
Good.
But before we get there, we have to talk to Wee-In and Captain. You know, don't put the jet ski in the water if it's got a leak. That's it. Fairly self-explanatory. Come on, man.
I mean, he exposed...
Don't even try to fuck around with me, okay? That's what he was like when he was talking to him. And Wee-In was like throwing excuses out there, and he was like, "Get those out of here, man. I don't want those." Now he's a little British now, but you know, it's point taken. He was pretty peeved.
I like Hot Pants Captain.
Oh yeah, he's great. So moving on.
No, I do want to say, although Hot Pants Captain Jason was not Johnny Cochran, his examination of Weehan was quick, and it exposed him to be a liar and full.
Was Johnny Cochran good at cross examination? Was that his strength?
All I know is he got a guy off that cut two people's heads off with a gardening trowel.
It's amazing. There are probably like ringers that you bring in the battlefield of law. You know, there's probably guys and gals that excel in like cross examination. So like Johnny Cochran, like there's some, you know, gardener who saw O.J. Simpson cut two people's heads off
with a gardening trowel,
and he just completely eviscerates his character, and the man saw it happen, but Johnny Cochran's so goddamn good that he got him off. You know what I mean? I feel like we're getting a little distracted. It's mainly my fault. So Wee-In is a former stripper who is confused about why all these girls are crushing on him. Probably because you have accepted their courtship and returned kind of physical interest back at them, I would say.
I think I mentioned this on the last podcast, Del. The reason why Weehan, who I didn't realize at the outset, was a true bosun for this show. He is a true sea rat bosun. He's a womanizing pig, manipulative. He did not show his hand the first part of this season. I thought he was just a worker bee, kind of checking out what his options might be. But he is a full-blown pig.
Yeah, subterranean pig. You got to dig a couple layers before you see what a big giant pig he is. But you know who isn't a pig?
Harry. No. Who are you going to say?
I was going to say Big Red.
Big Red.
Yeah. Not a pig. And Harry, also not a pig. You remember when the Deb told you to shit or get off the pot with her daughter Ashley?
She said, you had sex with my daughter. She gets to move into your shitty apartment. I was like, no way, Deb.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I will tell her that she does not need to communicate with you anymore.
Yeah.
And I fell for it.
Yeah.
No, that didn't go well. Great job, Deb.
Yeah.
She's going to sue me someday. I'm sure she tries to track me down every once in a while.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you call, you know, square peg, round hole. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just not going to work, Deb. So Harry is kind of slow playing this to a fault at this point. Big Red is ready to pump things up.
She wants more heat in the bedroom. This
Absolutely.
Is mind blown. Okay, so this is an interesting thing about what's going on with the dynamic between men and women.
Yeah.
We've been told as men, hey, don't be a fucking gross pig and try and make out with us and push us into a bedroom.
Well, listen, there's a certain truth to how do I say this?
I know this is
this is tough.
This is a tightrope. I will say this. There is a fine balance between. I think Harry, she should communicate more with what she wants.
Yeah. What women have to understand is that men are dumb and bad at picking up. We can be specialists at having sex with women, but in terms of navigating the emotions of another person who is female, pretty bad at that.
Or when to make a move and when not to. I will say at the tail end of this episode, it was a classic example of what men and women think about the same thing that happened, and then when you walk into separate rooms.
Well, I'll tell you what, if somebody brings you up to a guest cabin, that's a fairly clear communication. It's a fairly clear communication. At least, we don't have to eat each other's tush or anything, but definitely don't go, we've got a lot of work to do tomorrow, better go to bed.
All right.
Definitely don't do that.
All right, personal story, Patty, personal story.
Yeah.
20 some odd years ago, I worked in a recording studio. Major artists went through there. There was a particular music artist, female. She was on a record
Did she have a busted up Mustang and a drug problem?
She had a semi-hit song. I will not give her name out.
Okay. He's
She was a little older than me. Get this.
He's talking about Fergie.
No, I'm not. So I wanted to go on a date with her, and I'm like 22, 23. Yeah. So I call her because she gave me her number.
Yeah.
And so I call her. That's when you'd call people back in the day.
Yeah.
And she picks up, and I said, hey, would you like to go to a movie tonight at the Chinese Man's Theater?
Yeah.
And she said, no, I'm staying at the hotel. They put her up at the Roosevelt.
Yeah.
She goes, why don't you just come up to my room?
Yeah.
Do you want to know how I internalized that?
Yeah.
I thought that she was telling me that she didn't want to go on a date with me.
Yeah.
She was saying,
yeah,
come up to my room and let's have a good time.
Well, she was saying she doesn't want to go on a date with you. You're a peon. You're disgusting. You're going to be...
Why waste time going to a movie?
Why waste the time, right? I don't want to see that movie. I just want to crack my rocks off. And you were such a little Fido that you didn't pick up on.
Nope, didn't.
Yeah. I mean, it's just nuts. But, Harry will figure it out, I think. Let's get to dinner. Galley. First up is a local chicken and red curry. They like it. And then we get to the rooms, which are absolutely disgusting. I don't know how the fuck they're supposed to clean this while running plates.
This is, by the way, these two departments should be completely separated. I don't want you cleaning dookie out of a toilet.
Oh, sure.
And then maybe washing your hands then laying plates on the table.
Yeah.
This does not work for me.
No. I mean, even if a clean thumb is anywhere near the sauce, Patty will not eat it.
No. If you put your fucking thumb on my plate,
yeah.
even near anywhere where I'm going to scrape food off of, send it back.
Yeah.
Send it back.
Yeah.
You know, I did that.
And you're a lot like Barbara Streisand in that regard.
Well.
So, next dish is a local sea bass with a passion fruit sauce and fennel. Lovely, light, flavorful. I don't know if I wrote sauce or they called it a sauce, but if they called it a sauce, we've talked about this before, that needs to be removed, right? We're not at a Caro's, right? We are not at a hometown buffet. We need to use terms like reduction. We need to use terms like gastriques. We need to use terms like jus. You know what I mean?
Why aren't they doing that?
I don't know. I'm a little.
That's a question I'm going to have for her because she is not using any of those.
But again, I don't know if it's me on the pot or if that you think.
It's not you. They are not using those words. This is onion soup.
Yeah, well, French onion soup, you can. I'm just
saying.
No, I know you're trying to agree with me, but yeah, you find fancy. You're saying to find fancy.
That's right. Like fool us with the words. Dance around with words.
Yeah. Call something aubergine instead of eggplant. You know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, it tastes better when you say it like that.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so Marina versus Adair. Marina is a little peeved that Adair doesn't like cleaning shit off of porcelain bowls. And this is where Marina really took a couple steps back from me because she essentially she invented a lie and framed Adair. She dropped a dime on her on false grounds.
Well, remind me. Well, I will say this. It's clear that Adair prefers the decky life as opposed to cleaning shit off a toilet.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't? Is like getting jet skis into fresh ocean water as opposed to cleaning crusted fecal matter.
Let's be honest as human beings. Yeah. There's only 2 points in your life you're going to tolerate dookies, like all over the place. College roommates, you accept it because it's a funny story that's disgusting.
Yeah, or if you're a lot lizard.
Second point in your life, you have toddlers, and you accept that as well. Sometimes I walk in the bathroom in the morning and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, did Godzilla drop a log in here? And no, it's my 4-year-old.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
You know, it's so crazy. I learned, because I've been reading up on baby stuff, like potty training. You essentially have to just sit there with them naked, and then when they start to pee, you gotta how do you
give them positive reinforcement?
I hadn't even thought of that. How do you trick a human being into not shitting everywhere? It's amazing conditioning that we do.
Yeah, well, we've been doing it for thousands of years.
Yeah, millions maybe even. So, anyways, Sea Rat history with we, and I'm gonna let you take this away.
Well, he was I don't know where he's going with this. He worked at a gay bar, but it was a shirtless
You know what?
Gay bar.
Poodle and Maddie just introduced us to this term. I knew what they were, but I didn't know that they had a name. The name is Go-Go Boy.
A go-go boy.
He was a go-go boy.
This is not a Sea Rat history story, by the way, Dill. I'm not even going to qualify this as this.
Okay.
This is just him, I think, trying to hide the fact that he may have had sex with gay men.
No. No. I think he was just a go-go boy. Pat.
Okay.
I think that's all that was going on.
No judgment here. Live your best life. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I just think he was a go-go boy. But anyways, dessert is rum and coconut cake with saffron meringue. That's a tough putt, and she pulls it off. Lovely meal, 81 pots, I would say. Then we get to Marina dropping a dime. And listen, we don't care enough really to get into the specifics of it, right? Because it's...
by dropping a dime, she went and complained about her.
Yeah, she went and ratted.
She ratted.
She ratted. She dimed. She goes to Lara, and she says, Adair refused. She said, no, I'm not doing that. I don't think that's what happened. I think Adair was being pulled in 15 different directions. I like Adair. She is a wild card. I have no idea who she is. She looks like kind of a gunner, like she would sit on top of a tank and slaughter Germans or something. I'm not sure.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But as I've been looking at her face and studying it for quite some time,
okay,
she looks like a younger Toni Collette. I think she won a Grammy or something.
Toni Collette won a Grammy?
Or an Oscar?
Maybe an Emmy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe she won an Emmy for something.
Do a side-by-side. One of you Barnacles, do a Toni Collette Adair side-by-side.
Yeah, I won't see it. I'm banned from Facebook for hate speech.
You know what? Yeah, you're better for that.
We get to the Captain's Lounge.
Ah, yes.
This is the kind of Sea Rat stuff that people really flip out for, right? Because as we know, the guests are, they can barely afford these vacations. So if you had real money, right? Like if you flew into a town and the only hotel you were going to stay at is the Four Seasons, you would not be okay with this kind of fucking tomfoolery, right? This is disgusting Sea Rat shit. And it works for people who go on like bicycle drinking tours, right? Which is essentially what the clientele of this franchise is. It's not up to par. It's not up to code. It's not anything that should be really enjoyed.
So you didn't like Captain Jason in his smoking
fine.
jacket?
No, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
But
he looked like Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, if Hugh
Welcome
Hefner,
to the Captain's Lounge.
If Hugh Hefner was a buff, beautiful, blue-eyed Australian man and not a shriveled fucking freak.
Well, at some point he was younger. Did you ever see any video of him in the 70s? He was high on, gacked out on trucker meth.
Yeah.
Watch those old videos. Old Patty did a bunch of stuff on Hugh Hefner on PMZ.
Yeah.
Watch old videos with him. He's grinding his teeth as they're interviewing him. He was high on trucker meth.
Yeah. And it might not have been trucker meth. It might have been just good old-fashioned Tinseltown blow. And a lot of it. Stuff was cleaner back then.
That's true.
You could essentially snort your way to China back then. Jesus.
Christ.
Okay. The women are flipping out, and then we get to the stripping. I think that Wien does a great... Was I too insulting when I talked about the bicycle tour?
I don't think so. That's who's on this boat.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. It probably costs less than a bicycle tour to be on this show. Yeah. Oh, you'll show up?
Yeah.
You're fine. You're on.
Right. So Harry and Big Red are not on the same page, but Harry thinks they are. He needs to be... Well, I was going to say he needs to read a few more chapters from How to Close Ass for Less Money.
Now, I do want to say this to Harry. You are playing this the exact way you should.
Well, okay. So for those uninitiated, Patrick has penned I want to call it a manuscript, because at this point it has kind of matriculated.
It's coming out in 2026.
Yeah.
The code. Cracking the code. How to close more ass for less money.
Right.
Harry apparently got some notes from it because he's playing it just like I wrote it.
I don't think so, though.
He is.
You think?
Oh, yes. Brianna is a hot girl. She's a commodity. Like, every guy thinks she's hot. Everyone's hitting on her. How do you get her interested in you?
Yeah.
You show her a little interest. Right. You be interesting, and then
do it in Tom Leykis' voice.
Well, dear, this is what you do.
Right.
You treat them like dirt. They stick like mud, dear.
Right.
Yes, dear.
Right.
Yes, son.
Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Think of E.T. You couldn't get him into the bedroom without the PCs. It's really disgusting what you code breakers think like. All right, next.
Anyway, Harry, I can't tell if he's doing this intentionally or is he completely unaware that he's doing this to her.
I think he's completely unaware.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dummy.
Okay. So
you're going to lose that beautiful girl.
You're going to lose that beautiful big red. That stick of chewing gum. Next day.
Next morning.
Wian and Adair are having a lovely little morning. She's wearing shoes, and he thinks that's funny. He might be he might be clinically stupid.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. I'll tell you why, Del.
Yeah.
Because he has quite the conundrum on his hands.
Sure,
He has two girls fighting for his heart.
Yeah.
But the problem is, he's in love with Adair.
Right.
Yeah. I love babos and sea rats. They'd fall in love with a railing if they could fuck it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So Wian is called up by Laura, and this is where I really feel bad for Adair because she evidently is not acting in accordance with the way that the boat is supposed to be run. And Wian's got a little bit of a conundrum here because he's got to crack the whip on somebody that he's head over heels in love with, and I don't know how he's going to do that.
Yeah, well, he doesn't do it well because Jason, I think, just tells the two heads of department, they're like, you guys fucking figure it out, and this commences into a tug of war, essentially, over Adair.
Oh, yeah, over the walkies. Yeah. Well, we'll see. This whole thing's going to blow, right? It's like, I don't know, Hungary or whatever fucking we fought over or something. I don't know.
Hungry?
Yeah, I don't know. You remember, the powder keg? How they talk about, when you're studying World War, so whatever it was, they're like, this was a powder keg and all it needed to be, where was that? Me neither. So drop-off day, and we got a little bunk bed swapping. Now, I thought in this magic moment, Big Red and Harry were going to shack up. Oh. Unfortunately not, though. Yeah. The new girl is going to be staying with Big Red and I think Johnny. Who cares? Marina and Adair. Adair continues to get shafted, and I just feel really, really bad for her because Marina has made up this little fib, and Adair's getting crushed by it. I stan Adair. I'm a big Adair stan. Yeah. You know what I was thinking the other day? Just to go off topic for the 75th time. What does grease is the word bead? You know when they say grease is the word? What does that mean?
Okay, so lyrics are not really poetry. Listen to any Stone Temple Pilots song. The guy was on drugs. Any word that just fit into the scheme of syllables was what went down on the paper.
Yeah, sure.
And then when he wasn't too high to read it off the paper, he sang it into a microphone and it became a hit song.
Right.
No, never like try and study lyrics.
Grease is the word.
Stupid. I don't even think that was part of the original Broadway musical. It was just added later. That guy is still fucking alive, by the way.
Frankie Valli?
Yeah.
Well, kind of.
Well, yeah. I mean, to the extent that he's walking around like a zombie, but his brain left him 4 years ago.
When you're splitting...
That's dementia. I'm a pig for saying
Well, no. What it is, when you go to the Four Corners, you can straddle the border of two different states.
Yeah.
When death wants you and you refuse to give up, it kind of sucks the air out of your skin, and then you can't really perform.
No, what death says is, okay, fine, you won't come with me? I'll let you walk around hitting walls for the next 10 years. And then make your family miserable and hate you till you die.
That's the thing about death. Catty AF. Catty as fuck, this guy. Or girl, who knows what it is. It's probably both.
Can I tell you, this is kind of dark, maybe a little bit too much patty for the audience.
Yeah.
I want to go at like 72. Yeah. My kids will be like 30 or something. Yeah. Time to go. I'll leave them some money and some great memories and a good example of how a human being should exist on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
And then I'm out.
It's so funny. My dad was talking, and my dad has told me that when he feels anything coming,
Oh, okay.
He's gonna go out into the mountains, get naked, get drunk, and just fall asleep in the cold and die.
He told you that.
Yeah.
That's not what you shouldn't tell your kids that. You just do that.
Well, I mean, when he told me, I said, "What a relief." right? And now we were talking about it a couple weeks ago.
He wants to live forever.
He wants to go to a VA hospital. He goes, you guys don't need to pay a bunch of it. Just put me in the VA. I was like, well, I thought, what happened to the freezing out in the woods? That sounded so nice.
Also, what happens with your house?
Yeah. It's like that.
I don't get that.
Sounds like a whole mess. I thought you were gonna get drunk in the woods and die. It's like, what the fuck? I'll talk to him about it. All right, let's
try and convince him to do the back of the woods thing.
We started in a really good place. It was very poetic. It was brutal, but life is brutal and death is brutal. We'll talk about it. Let's drop off the guests and get to our tip meeting.
Yeah.
What is the tip?
15 grand, 1,300 each.
Not a good tip. So Johnny needs some luck, and we dump the helmet of humiliation on him to see if that brings it.
Now, he got it on a technicality because he did not deserve it for that whole mess with the ski-doos or whatever.
Yeah.
He got it on a technicality on the fact that he almost killed himself on his own incompetence floating out into the ocean weeks earlier.
Yep.
No, that's a no for me.
Yeah, no, it's clearly weans again. Now, we get to the evening. Serena.
Now, hold on.
Serena and Marina.
We'll get there. This is amazing that someone who just came on the boat gets to go out for drinks before she's done any work on the boat. This does not exist in any other occupation.
Profession?
Yeah. Oh, you just started? Well, your first night out. Let's go and get cocktails.
I think this happens on K Street and Wall Street all the time. They're like, hey, fuck the work, dude. Let's go bang some people that came over and shipping
It'll
containers.
be a bonding experience.
Yeah. And then
let's go rip a bunch of people off to us.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I interrupted you with Zarina.
What's that word? What? Yeah, they're lighting $100 bills on fire, talking about austerity, just laughing, throwing champagne all over the place. And then they go to work the next. I can't stand these fat cats. They really bother me. All right, let's get to the night out.
Boycott something.
Yeah. Well, you mock it, but on that day, I did not spend a penny. I didn't, and you can laugh, but I think it's nice to every once in a while just have little. Essentially corporate siestas, right? You just take a little break. It's nice.
I agree.
I know you don't. You couldn't possibly. The only things that you consume are the most megalodonic shit. You eat turkey made of pigeon, okay? You drink Monster blue energy drinks with 0 calories. You would die if you had to go to a small business. Okay.
I
agree.
Said.
Yeah. Okay. So we get out. Zarina and Marina are wondering what they're going to do about the whole Wien situation. They're both going to pounce. He's going to dikembe both of them, but we'll get to that in a second. Alicia.
Yes.
Not the Alicia we thought.
I fucked up. I apologize. Go ahead. Let me have it.
Yeah, let him have it.
Okay. I'm total newbie. Now, here's some beats
if you
on
can
her.
believe it, Wien's attracted to her.
Yeah, I'm shocked by that. Here's a little background on her. She likes to walk naked on the beach with overweight retired teachers, a.k.a. a nudist colony. Mm-hmm. Did you catch that? I think that was
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Oh, absolutely. Because why does everyone that wants to show off their balls and boobs look hideous?
Well, for free.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, that's
right. She claims to be green.
Yeah, she's a little green in the kitchen.
Okay, perfect. You'll be great for doing the dishes, I guess.
Yeah. I think that she's going to take quite a back seat. We can tell that she's a little bit different than Anthony in that when she was speaking on her love of food, she cited the color and the smell. So,
there you go.
That's a little odd. But we'll see what happens. We get to dinner, and tonight is the night. Serena's going to go after it. And she goes after it by gifting Wien a rose and smashing his face into her tits. Now, at this moment, Wien, quote-unquote, knows he has a problem. Now, I don't like Wee-Man referring to Serena like that. But
Marina.
And Marina. Kind of fine with Marina. But anyways, he has a dilemma. And I think that he goes about it in a Usual Suspects type twist in kind of a reasonable way.
Now, we have not seen
he's a pig, but...
Okay, so I have to question this. we've seen this play out multiple times on multiple seasons, which is some guy, typically a bosun, doesn't have the balls to tell a girl, you know what? I'd really like to try having sex with your coworker.
Yeah.
Right? Because how do you do that, right? And then, so they don't dump them, and then they end up looking like pigs on television because they're trying to play both people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you ask the sea rat that he's dumping, which would you prefer? I think it hurts the ego more when on television he says, I had a sample and no thanks.
Yeah.
I think that might hurt. Although Marina was a good sport about it.
I actually don't want the oat bites. Yeah. I don't want the oat bites.
So when I would hook up with girls
I
in
am
the past,
so awkward to sample people at grocery stores. It's like, it's never anything that I want. And they just look so alone.
Oh, sample people?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about, are you referring to alcohol people that do the
There's
samples?
alcohol people. There's like nutrition products. Like we've got a new bar. It's like, I don't want that.
Dill, just so you know, they're paid by a certain business. That's their job. I used to do, when we worked for a company together, I'd do the sample things all the time. And it did hurt my ego a little bit when people were like, now, I didn't like the people that have to explain why it's a no.
Yeah.
That was it. I didn't like that. I just prefer you just
well, and also the people who are really into it and want to know more about the product. It's like, I need you to just move on.
I want to know what's up with you.
Okay, we got to run because the SD cards are running out. But
okay.
Johnny, taken up by a dirty dancing kind of lust, goes in for a kiss. Now, I think she very cutely shut him down and told him she doesn't do that with people she doesn't know. And I think that this is a budding, beautiful thing. And I think that one of the reasons he may punch a cubby is because of her.
Oh, interesting.
Little heart-sick, violent puppy.
Johnny, I actually like Johnny.
I do too.
This move is so ridiculous. Look, I know we've all got caught up in a moment at some point in our lives with a little alcohol in us, but this is so stupid.
Yeah, it's a bold move, Cotton, and it failed. As bold moves often do. You have to be, you have to be brave enough to try, right? We get back to the boat, and somebody who's not brave enough to try is Harry. Big Red is pissed off. She wants to get a little heavy petting,
intimacy.
Perhaps dry humping, whatever these kids are into. Get in the comments. Let us know what you thought about the episode. We love you guys very much. We're doing Summer House at patreon.com/anotherpodcastnetwork and 5 stars, kind words. We love you guys very much. I'm Dylan. Say goodbye. Pat, say goodbye.
Later, dudes.